You know, I have good days and I have some not so good days. And today, firing wise, oh my God, this one's smelling up the room. This is horrible. This is not a bad pot, right? Not a bad pot, except it's got a couple flaws in it. This isn't even so bad it can't even be a second. This is horrible. I mean, that's really bad. Oh well. It's a lovely pot too. I like the concept of that particular pot. It gets worse. You know, like that old commercial says about, but wait, there's more. Yeah, I'm having a bad day. Look at this beautiful, this is a great little form. I love this form. It actually goes this way. I love this form. Has high legs on the back, so it sits up really nice and pretty like that. Look at the back. Oh my. I turned this puppy over and I went, I love this thing. I'm in love with it. And then I noticed something. I almost want to cry when I'm talking about this. This is really right here. Yeah, right there. Can you see that? Yeah. And that crack goes all the way. You can travel that crack and you follow that crack. I could pop that right off right now. I mean, this side's not so, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I love the form. I love how it sits up high. I love the little details in the back, but look at that color. And it comes with a crack. There are good days, and there are some days that are not so good. And these aren't the only two screw-ups today. I'm probably running 40, 50, maybe even 50% screw-ups today, refires. I'm already refiring something. Okay, after I went outside and cried, I went and hugged a tree and started crying because of this pot and the crack. I thought I might want to explain something. That, you know the old thing about every cloud has a silver lining? Well, this has a silver lining. It's just really hard to see. And I do hate losing this pot, but two problems, and I have learned from both of them. One is that this is not my normal raku clay. Okay, so it was a test of this clay. I like the whiteness of this clay, so I have a couple choices. I either have to learn how to make my raku clay whiter, somehow with a slip and on-go underglaze, something like that. Live with its ivory color. I could do either of those. And then the other thing is that color came about because of its proximity to reducing material. Now I typically line my barrel, and then I have a piece of paper that goes on the bottom. So this goes into a barrel that's lined, okay? So the paper comes up the side, so it would be like here and not here. This had paper in close proximity. So the reduction was definitely greater here than it was on this side. So if I want this side to look like that side, I've got to bring the reduction material closer. So that's something I need to work on. I think I have some ideas on how I can do that pretty easily, but it's going to take a little bit of experimenting, but not a lot. The clay is an unfortunate experiment. This is a lesson learned. I mean, that's fabulous. This glaze that I've been working on for the last almost 5 years is finally reaping some benefits. This is exactly what I want. And this is not just your typical, typically when you see this kind of coloration, it's on, it's not even a glaze. It's a dry powder that will be upwards of 80% copper carbonate. And when you do that, it doesn't form a glaze matrix. And when it doesn't form a glaze matrix, you put it in the sun, it's going to change color. It's going to oxidize on you. And then you're going to end up with green, not these colors. This has less of a chance of turning green than the typical method of making that color happen. But it takes a long time to develop a glaze that does that versus just copper. And some little things like little details, like I've cleaned most of this off but left it in the crevices. So I wanted to see what that would look like, if it would give me a little sparkle, maybe just a little bit of a sparkle. And that is what's happening here, and I like that. So there's not a total loss. I just can't. I can't keep it, and I can't move it into a new home. Somebody would really dig that, man. That's a great color. But we know why. So every cloud has a silver lining. You just have to look for the lessons that you're going to learn from your pieces. And even when I have a disaster, I finished crying. You can see my eyes are slightly red. So I've finished the pity party, and now I'm into the analytical side. Like, well, here's what I can do better next time. Talk to you later. I mean, that crack goes all the way up here. Unbelievable.